Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel tonight for another review. And yes, it's nighttime because I was about to call it a night, but I got a quick opportunity to screen the new film Songbird. Now, a lot of people may not recognize this film by the name, but I can assure you that when this trailer dropped, everybody was intrigued. It was the Michael Bay film, which he produced this film about the pandemic. And there's a couple of things I really want to make sure I put emphasis on here. Now, yes, this is highlighting the pandemic. It is 2024, and the pandemic has now evolved into COVID-23. And COVID-19 right now in the pandemic in the world is like super serious, but this film is not. It does not take itself serious at all, which is absolutely the right thing to do because with how serious COVID-19 is, who would want to see a film doubling down on that and just saying, hey, guess what? It's 2020, but in 4 years, it's going to be way worse. I mean, no one's wanting that, and a lot of people are already really struggling with the times now. So why make a film talking about it to a further extent? So by all means, this is a super entertaining film that does not take itself serious at all. With some entertaining characters, tons of other things I'm gonna talk about in a second, but nonetheless, you're not walking into just a whirling pool of depression and downness off this film. But yes, this is going to be on video on demand December 11th. It's produced by Michael Bay, and it is in true Michael Bay fashion. All of his typical antics. Little disappointed that I didn't get his traditional explosions, but there was some jaw-dropping blood splatter that I thought was really well done. But this film has KJ Apa and Sofia Carson, who plays Nico and Sarah, the love interest in this film. Now, Nico is he's on the outside of the world, shall I say. He's not quarantined because he's immune. He has an immune band and he's a carrier, so he's delivering packages to everyone's house whenever they order something. Whereas Sarah fell in love with the mailman and they love each other, but she's never physically met him. And technology makes it accessible for them, but nonetheless, they hope to one day be together. Well, in this story, Nico, being the white knight he is, Sarah has a little predicament going on in her house. And yes, when someone tests positive for COVID-23, the government decides that, everyone's at risk and we're going to, get rid of you. In other words, they're going to take you away and kill you because they're not going to let this expand any further and worse than what it is now. So Sarah has a little predicament in her house, and now the authorities are on the way. Nico is going all around the world, all around LA, looking for a solution that potentially could save her. So that's pretty much the gist of this film. There's some other things and other characters involved, but really this is centered around Nico and his love interest for Sarah. But with that being said, I could almost have done without the love angle story in this. Like, I feel like it was a little forced, maybe at times, sometimes a little, I don't know. It wasn't interesting. But nonetheless, again, the characters were interesting, but just adding the little loves aspect to it, I probably could have did without it, but whatever. With that being said, too, there's a whole ton of issues with logic in here with the plot. And then there's even characters at times I really felt like were just completely unnecessary. But with that being said, they were interesting. They weren't interesting. They were entertaining, whether they were corny, whether they were comedic, whatever it may have been. They definitely added to keeping the tone where the film was at and always was. And that's just being an entertaining film. So like you will notice a ton of flaws with the character's logic, a ton of flaws with the plot. But at the end of the day, it's just a fun movie, so you just got to kind of overlook that. But I do think the idea of this film was very intriguing. I think a lot of people realized that from looking at the trailer. And I definitely think that considering the pandemic and some of the possibilities within this film, I think that those ideas are very intriguing, considering technology, considering testing, considering the advance of the virus. I mean, these things definitely going to spark some ideas in your head, along with some of the things that are happening in the film as well, too, which also will promote social commentary. So you will be invested in this film, watching the plot goes on, but also kind of wondering, like, what ramifications may this actually have in the real world now. Also, too, there are, like, a ton of characters who just teleport. I mean, they'll be one place in one moment, and the next thing you know, they're someplace else. I mean, they're teleporting in the blink of an eye, but hey, the flaw in the logic here. So, just got to kind of go with it, along with like a ton of corny dialogue. But I think this is a good film for the time being, because the pandemic is very serious. A lot of people are struggling with it. So making a film that people can watch, kind of enjoy and just kick back, don't take serious. The film doesn't take itself serious. I think in true Michael Bay fashion, which has made him a ton of money over the years, and doing films like this is right on par. It's traditional and typical Michael Bay type of film. So, but at the same time too, directed by Adam Mason and again produced by Michael Bay, I felt that this was a very entertaining film that I didn't think it was going to be this good, because I thought they were going to go the serious route. So they didn't, thus making it, changing my entire perception of it, and thus considering that this film was just very much entertaining and should be suitable for all households of all ages, because it's just that type of film. But anyway, check it out. It's December 11th on video on demand. Definitely let me know in the comments what you thought about this film once you check it out, and I'll see you around for many more reviews soon. Thank you for watching, folks.